Hello and good morning to you. I hope that you guys are off to a great start on your Wednesday morning. I wanted to hop on and talk a bit this morning about some of the things that I've done this year uh, that has been different than the approach I've taken in prior years. Right, we've all now been in this pandemic for the better part of a year. Um, I think we've all watched every Netflix movie and series there is to watch. We all have either been affected or known someone affected by the pandemic. We've weathered racial injustice left, right, and center. We've survived an election cycle. And we've got a lot of Zoom hours under our belt, right? So much so, many of us could probably get a certification at this point on Zoom and on video technology. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Ken. Thanks for rocking with me this morning. Um, but I think, and I've been having this conversation over the last week or so about video. I think that's where the magic lies, right? Both in our business lives and even so in our personal lives, we have been leveraging technology, whether it's FaceTime, whether it's Zoom. We've had no choice. Tech has always been there. This technology has always been there before the pandemic. I've been using Zoom to conduct Trailblazer.fm podcast interviews for probably 2 years prior to the pandemic. But now we have no choice. And I think whether it's just by the way in which you and I now operate, we work on them, our kids do school on them. We do, last night we had an HOA meeting for our neighborhood on a Zoom call. Here's my point. I still hear a lot of people saying, Stephen, I'm not ready for video. And I am laughing because we have all been doing video for the last year. Every last one of us in some capacity has had to get on video, whether you like it or not. And so it brings me to what I'm doing to change my strategy. For the past 5 years, I've been a podcaster. My entire approach has been audio first in terms of my content creation. But that approach is shifting in 2021 and beyond because of the way we are being trained by Zoom, FaceTime, and these other video technologies. And so it's not so much I'm shifting away from audio. I still have every intent to continue to produce content for the podcast, but I'm taking a different approach to create content first via video. And so you all have seen me doing these lives 3 times a week right now. And whether, it's, and I hope to continue to do even more of the live streams. But I'm figuring this out in real time, and I appreciate each of you for rocking with me. Stacy, Annette, Ken, Ralston, you guys have all been coming in the room quite frequently, and I appreciate you hanging with me. And you guys have been Trailblazer diehards from the very beginning. But let me ask you guys a question, because I see at least 3 of you here have commented. Do you still have a fear of doing video? Do you still have a fear of doing video right now? I see Kanika here, who's been a fan of video. Yes, you have told me this quite some time ago. But are you still intimidated by the idea of putting yourself on video and putting yourself out there, despite likely having to leverage video in your work and in your personal life, right? And if yes, why do you think that is, right? I'm gonna challenge you to get look at doing some video in your content creation strategy, whether as working professionals or as business owners and entrepreneurs. I think it's the way in which we are, again, being trained to communicate, to receive and consume content. But we're now moving away from, because we're all fatigued, right? And I think if you're creating content, it needs to be done in these short, bite-sized pieces. Hence why I am doing content 3 times a week. And you see me hop on here for 10 minutes on a Monday and Wednesday morning, and I hop right back off. I'm not trying to take away from your time, but I'm just trying to create these bite-sized pieces. Ken says, yes, but we're going to do it regardless. It's necessary. No other option right now. Exactly. Annette says, yes, but when you put it that way, it doesn't make sense because we're doing it right now. And Kanika says, I have a fear of doing it without looking decent or proper rehearsal. Given the current state of the world, it's becoming easier, says Stacy. So again, my challenge to everybody on the live or those watching the replay, get uncomfortable. I've been very uncomfortable over the last 3 weeks, making a commitment to say, you know what, I'm going to go live 3 times a week. And I'm going to do these bite-sized pieces of content. I've not been able to deal with the post-production work of the podcast. And so this is the way I'm creating content, live, in the raw, in the real. Every last and pause that I could have edited out of the podcast now comes out as it does, and I don't get a chance to take anything back. And that's a challenge of live streaming video. But one other thing that I think, I'm doing and moving, it really is a move away from something that I was never good at to begin with, and that's being more salesy about my offerings. As many of you know, along with Trailblazers, for the last 3 years, I've been creating personal branding courseware. And I've had an on-demand style course, a streaming course on personal branding for the last 2.5 years. And I am going to be doing this again here in about a month. We are actually launching our Personal Branding Essentials Bootcamp. And it's a live full-day experience. We are going to have a cohort of other heart-centered professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders looking to build their personal brand. If you're interested in learning more about that, hop on over to stevenahart.com/bootcamp. But here's the thing. I am looking to really just inform and invite folks to take part in what we're doing with the branding bootcamp. I'm moving away from, these long form, sales pitches, even sales pages. If you look at, the page that I created at stevenahart.com/bootcamp, it's just telling you about the course. I'm telling you what's involved. It's going to be a full day intensive, very interactive, very hands-on. And very much where I'm just giving guidance. It's part of my heart because I've had so many amazing people either that I've seen and wanted to interview for the podcast, or who have approached me week in and week out saying, hey, I'd love to be on your podcast, but their branding and their online presence doesn't dictate us moving the needle to the next step. And so I thought, hey, as a marketer, as somebody who absolutely has embraced everything branding for the last 15 years, I decided to create a course, a do it yourself, self-paced, I should say, because I'm very much involved in the process, but a self-paced course that allows you to work through it. But this is going to be different. The boot camp's going to allow you to sit with me for an entire day. We are going to work together for an entire Saturday, doing a lot of hands-on work and walking through the entire course. You still have access to all the content following it. But that's my approach going forward with the boot camp. And, so again, coming back to it, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm looking to create these bite-sized content pieces, and, work at getting consistent again. A lot of this content will roll over to the podcast. And on Fridays, they're going to be a lot longer than the 5 or 10 minutes I do on Monday and Wednesday. Fridays are going to be the traditional Trailblazer style interview that we've always done. And this Friday, I'm going to be having a dear friend of mine, a past guest, Jennifer Whittle, is going to be on the show. And together, we're going to talk about 5 successful Black business women that we should all know. And I'm so excited about that conversation. I can't wait for you guys to join me on Friday morning at 8. And that's our show for today. I hope, again, I hope you'll join me on Friday. I'm excited about. Also, by the way, Jennifer is the founder and owner of a PR agency called the Borland Group. And so I absolutely will be talking to Jennifer as well about some of her knowledge in the branding and PR area, and get more good stuff beyond what is shared there. So have a great day. Go out, blaze your trail, rise above, go way beyond, right? And keep blazing your trail. Hope you have a great day. Cheers.